Hobbies have always been a relieving itch for me when boredom strikes or when creative blocks come about. Mindless activities like knitting or mandala drawing turn into mindful bubbles of thoughts where everything turns cinematic in my eyes. But as soon as this thing comes in, well, it leaves me. You would think that being exposed to thousands of pieces of content daily would give a nudge to your creativity and inspire flow of thought, but I find myself, most of the time, consuming without learning, absorbing without observing. I've been waking up early lately. I don't know who I've become, honestly, and weirdly, but also understandably, I now wake up without an alarm. I can't say I enjoy the waking up part, but I love the serenity of an early morning, the quiet without the hum of a big city at my doorstep. I love the consciousness of the sheets cocooning me before waking up to not chaos, but waking up to myself in an intentional and controlled way. This extra 1 hour before the world gets going is usually spent reading, knitting, journaling. I don't give myself to the world during this time, so I don't go on my phone. I just enjoy my space in a steady manner. Flu season is upon us, and I had the misfortune of being quite ill these past few days. My space has definitely been a reflection of that. So I spent this morning cleaning up and putting things away as a gift to my recovering self that is starting to feel better. Movement has been a big part of my life lately too. I've started going to yoga. I've never been a big fan of physical activities. My sister got all the sporty genes. But growing up, the only two sports that I relished in were gymnastics and horseback riding. Yoga, on the other hand, has given me an opportunity to find and encounter myself in a new light that I hadn't explored in years. Remembering what I used to be able to do and how muscle memory lives within us all, even if simple. I love the quiet. I feel like time already goes by so fast. I've been investing time in the things that I actually love to do. Even with my university projects, I've really tailored them for them to go in the direction that inspires me. It's only until last year that I really learned how to take a brief and make it my own. And this is probably my biggest tip for anyone going into university, especially in the arts. It takes a while to learn how to adapt and also learn your practice. But once you do find your practice and what you love to create and what you love to do, take every brief and make it your own. It's just so nice and reinvigorating to wake up in the morning and knowing that the amount of work that I have to do is at least work that I love to do. I'm really passionate about the things that I'm creating and the things that I'm working on. And it just feels good to wake up and know that that's what I'm waking up for and not dreading it and shuffling my feet, being exasperated with the things that I'm learning and the things that I'm doing. It's so nice to be able to do that and to be able to say it and to be able to live it. Been working on my final dissertation all morning. I'm writing it on consumer culture in relation to pop art and how the post-war era greatly influenced American people's values and their relation to objects and the material world. If you haven't watched my project videos, go back 3 years ago in my first year in London, first year of university in my foundation year when I used to study fashion. I did a whole project on consumer behavior, really learnt about society the spectacle and medium as the message by big philosophers like Guy Debord and Marshall McLuhan, and it really changed my perception not only on fashion, not only on education, but also just in general in the world. And I remember calling my mom and telling her I feel my brain expanding. I felt like my vision of the world opened up right before me just learning about this topic, because we're so blind to it because of how consumeristic our world is. We don't even know how consumeristic our world is until we're exposed to it. So it was very eye-opening, and now it's a full circle moment because for my final dissertation in my last and 4th year of university, I am reapproaching that subject, but with all the knowledge that I've built over these past 4 years, and I'm coming at it through a final dissertation point of view and depth of understanding, which is really new to me. And I've never written a 10,000 word essay. I think the most I've ever written was probably around 5,000. So this is big, and I'm really excited about it. I'm learning a lot. Anyway, so I've been doing that for basically 5 hours this morning, but I'm going to have some lunch right now, just some leftover pasta that I made last night. And then I am gonna go hang out in a park and then go see the Elton John collection that's currently at the V&A, which I'm super stoked about. And yeah, it's gonna be a good day. I just came home from the V&A where I saw the Fragile Beauty exhibit, which is the collection that Elton John and David Furnish have gathered over the years, which encompasses about 7,000 photographs. Mind-blowing. If you live in London, I would highly recommend to go see it. It is an incredible collection of photographs and artwork. It is just a masterpiece. Although obviously they didn't show the 7,000 images, the selection that was there was something that I love about being in a city like London and studying art is how many artworks you talk about in class and then you go out to a museum the same day and there's the photograph blown up in big right in front of you that you were talking about in class a few hours before. It's just incredible how life works out, but also how incredible London is to offer such a vastness of creative works. I'm just feeling really grateful tonight. If you're gonna go see the exhibit, know that it's a heavy exhibit. Like, the collection is not just beauty, it's about fragile beauty, and it dives into very dark matters. A lot of it is documentary photography, and it just photographs the state of the world through a very raw lens. It's definitely heavy. It definitely has a lot of depth to it. There's just so many photographs that capture the state of the world over the past century. And so yeah, just so you know, if you go see it. But it was amazingly curated. The whole thing took about maybe 2 hours to walk through, but also I read everything, so it could go quicker than that. And there was a point in which they did kind of like a 360 room where everywhere you look there was a photograph, and it was inside of another room, like it was a room inside a room. It was super cool. But yeah, definitely would recommend. Anyway, I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm like very shaky and just not feeling super great physically. So I'm gonna take it slow tonight. It's really been a challenge for me to not live my life 100% like I usually do. Like usually I'm busy all the time, doing things all the time. But it's been really tough for me to be like, okay, Sasha, you need to lie in bed for 2 days straight and recover from this cold that you've had for almost 3 weeks now. Yeah, it's been a learning lesson for sure. I really want to see friends tonight. We're not gonna do that. So yeah.